Hello, my name is Alex and I am a shopping addict. This past month, I did a no buy month in the month of January. And this whole year, 2026, I am doing a no buy challenge too. I tracked all of my spending, the things that I bought, and I even tracked the things that I didn't buy, but that I would buy if I wasn't doing a no buy challenge. You know, like those impulse buys that everyone does. I tracked those too. A few things that I learned about myself during this first month is number one, I really miss tracking packages. um, I really liked opening the UPS app and seeing if I had anything coming in today or tomorrow. Same with FedEx and USPS. I also really love getting the emails like your package is out for delivery or the ones that say we've shipped your package. I also learned that discomfort doesn't last as long as I think it will. I noticed that if I put something in my cart and I waited 24 hours, I would, one, forget about the item or not want it at all. And sometimes I would forget about it entirely. Also, marketing works on me even though I don't want to admit it. So I don't see a bunch of those ads. However, I do scroll through Reddit and see those ads. And I also, I'm an avid YouTube watcher. So I'm not immune to ads, that's for sure. Also, I really confuse want with need on a daily basis. And doing a no buy challenge has helped me slow down and realize the difference. And lastly, not buying is a skill. It takes practice to manage my impulses and my urges to buy. Week 1 was really hard, but going into week 4, it was a lot better. I have never tracked my spending before, so this was a real eye-opener for me to see what was coming in and out of my bank account. So on the screen here, I'm going to show you everything that I have purchased in the month of January. Anytime I swipe my card, it went on this list. And we'll get into the impulse buy tracker a little later in the video. Here's my spending tracker. As you can see, I have listed all the products that I bought. Every time I swipe my card, it was put on this tracker. I have everything divided up. As you can see, I have the date, the amount spent, the category it is in, like food, travel, miscellaneous, medication. Then I have the place that I spent it. I categorize the items into needs and want. After that, I list who in my family it's for, along with a check mark to indicate if this was an impulse purchase or not. I have also documented the emotion that I was feeling when I purchased the item. So the most obvious stats to me are that I spend a lot of money at Publix. I noticed that I would shop one big haul at the beginning of the week, and then I would go to Publix again a little later in the week to buy vegetables that I had forgotten about or meat that I had forgotten about or like cereal or whatever. I also noticed that I have a lot of needs in my spending categories, but I also have a lot of wants too. I was really good at no impulse buying this month, and only one time did I impulse buy something. It is when I took one look at the fridge and I thought, to hell with this, I do not want to cook, so we ended up ordering pizza. And I'm happy to say that I was feeling pretty neutral when I made all these purchases, and sprinkled in there is a few sad and tired, but that's to be expected. This means I wasn't really covering up my feelings or that I was bored. So in total, I spent $391.21 on medication. My son's medication is very expensive and it is not covered by insurance. I spent $1,467.03 on travel. We are going up to DC for my uncle's 90th birthday party. The flights were pretty cheap, so I went ahead and purchased them even though the party isn't until July. I spent $540.11 on miscellaneous. That is a good chunk of my total, and I definitely want to bring that number down for February. Okay, and I spent on groceries, I'm embarrassed to say, $1,570.13, which is a huge number. I asked ChatGPT to give me a monthly average for a family of 4 in North America. And I was definitely in the higher, more luxurious spending for food for a family of 4. So in the month of February, I'd really like to bring that number down a lot. Hopefully, maybe to $1,000 or $1,200 a month. That might be wishful thinking. I see another big problem is that I like to buy steaks and lamb a lot. So I'm definitely going to have to be switching more to chicken and pork so that I can save money. I have another video coming up about this in the near future, so if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. So that brings my total, my grand total, to $3,968.56. 39.6% of that was spent on groceries. Travel was 37%, almost 10% for medication, and 13.6% on miscellaneous items. That number is a little bit embarrassing to me because $4,000 is a lot to spend on non-super essential items like shelter or car payments. I would really like to see if in the month of February I can bring that number down to $2,000. But I also noticed that if I hadn't spent money on travel, then that number would actually be a lot closer to $2,500 instead of $4,000. So if we eliminate the travel completely, it's a lot more manageable. Okay, this is where it gets good. Now I'm going to show you my impulse tracker. This is where I write down items that I absolutely would have purchased if I wasn't doing a no buy year. I noticed that a lot of these items I put down on this list I completely forgot about. So looking at this now, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I forgot I wanted that. I have divided everything up into the item name, the amount I saved by not purchasing the item, the date, and how I was feeling in the moment when I thought about purchasing that item. In the middle of the month of January, I also decided to add the time of day that I impulse shopped, just because I wanted to see if there was a pattern in what time I shopped. I wanted to buy this quince top for about $50. I wanted to spend a ridiculous amount of money on tops from Suzanne. My Everlane jeans don't really fit anymore, so I thought about buying another pair. However, spring is about to be here in North Alabama, so I don't really need jeans when it's going to be hot outside. I also wanted some Lululemon pants and some styling cream and foundation, as well as mascara and some tinted serum. And the list wouldn't be complete without me wanting another sweater from Everlane. I have 13 sweaters in my wardrobe. I do not need another one. The number one thing that stood out to me was how many times I was shopping when I was bored. I counted 9 out of 14 times I was shopping when I was bored, and the rest of the time I was feeling anxious or sad, and one time I was feeling ambitious. This month I hope to focus more on hobbies instead of shopping while I'm bored. Also, this shopping that happened at the end of the month, it was freezing outside, and we're in North Alabama, and I don't think we're really built for that level of freezing. It was like -1 degree for the wind chill, and that's just unbelievable here. So instead of going outside and doing something active, I just stayed indoors and shopped. So all in all, by not buying all these things, I saved $1,325.89. That is a huge amount of money that I would have spent. I am super proud of myself for not pulling the trigger and buying these items. And it's crazy to see how all these items individually, they're not that expensive, but when you add them all up at the end of the month, it is a large amount. I think that's how I got addicted to shopping in the first place, is because at the time I didn't think that I was doing anything wrong by buying a few items per week, but it indeed ended up being a lot in the end. 10 out of 15 times I wanted to buy clothes, so you can definitely see where my priorities lie when it comes to shopping. I love clothes. I also feel like I got a little dopamine hit from adding one of the items to my tracker. And so I feel a sense of accomplishment for not adding to cart and instead adding it to my tracker. So in conclusion, I feel like I had a really good start to my no-buy year. If you are thinking about doing a no-buy month too, or even a no-buy year, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Did you cheat on your no-buy year? What successes have you seen or failures have you seen so far in this first month? Also, I have linked my tracker down below, so all you have to do is just go into Google Sheets and make a copy of it, and you'll be able to track it on your own. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this channel. I'd love for you to follow along on my journey to a more intentional lifestyle. And I hope to inspire you to do the same. Have a wonderful day wherever you are watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.